Those two figures are there. In Freemasonry, they hide behind the sacred number of the sacred names of Ra and say he has 69 names. You follow what I'm saying? That 69 names is symbolic of 6 and 9. 6 ether, 9 ether. 9 ether in death becomes ghost in 6 ether. 6 ether in death becomes nothingness. When Caucasians die, unless they are given a soul, like it says, he restoreth my soul. So you can have your soul removed and you can have your soul restored. Unless their soul is restored, they dissipate into nothingness. You follow? That's what happens with 6 ether, inverted 9.
Okay, Bob. I got 3 questions. All right.
Yeah, 4. The first one was a question.
Oh, okay. I was listening to a tape, and I heard you say something about a red and blue star coming together, and I didn't know what that represented. That's one question. Another one is I was noticing that we dealing a lot with you know, like microorganisms and stuff like that, you know, in the books, and I'm trying to figure out, you know, that's kind of a little bit different from some of the things that we usually did. And
Who
another,
usually did?
that means, or that I usually read in our doctrine.
Back in our old books, the book called Science of Creation, I was breaking down microorganisms back in 1970.
Okay.
So it's not new to me. It's new,
Well,
young
to
readers
me.
are just catching up with it. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of things I'm teaching today, I taught back. I wrote books back in 1967 under Amanubi Rakata. It's on archives in Washington. People didn't even know I wrote them about Egypt back then.
Okay, and the last one was I was just doing, you know, from my old books. I just went back and I was studying them, you know, over again, and I noticed like a pattern with some of the doctrine. It was like I noticed that like the number 46 was coming up over and over again, like you know, the 46 people with Tammuz that did plagiarization.
Chromosomes, all
yeah,
that stuff,
like that. And
46 dynasties.
Yeah. I was trying
That's
to
an
figure
Egyptian figure.
I mean, I'm just, you know, is it more to that? Those 3
Yes.
questions is more.
No, not more to the words, it's more to the number. Egyptians were in numerology.
Okay.
46 is really not 46 in Egyptian, it's 4 and 6. And 4 represented the 4 elements: earth, water, and fire.
Okay.
Or wind and
Wind and
fire.
fire.
And 6 represented the mark of Apapis. Apapis was the Egyptian way of saying Satan.
Okay.
Right? And that was his mark of identity in time. And his cycles worked in 6s. Our cycles work in 9. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
But 4 was the marking point of the universe, the 4 corners of the universe, and they represent the 4 elements that we identify with as incarnated beings. So that each number you read in Egypt, when you see a number like 72, you say 7 and 2. And you look into the Egyptian mysteries as to what deities moved in 2, and you come up with Osiris or Asadu and Asit or Isis. And you say, okay, what deities moved in 5s? And you get the names of the 5 deities. What deities moved in 6? And you'll see a pattern there in the Egyptian mysteries that tell a story about us.
Okay.
You follow? Which will be explained thoroughly in the order. There's a new order in existence now. Breaks down all the secret mysteries. Go ahead.
The red and blue star?
Right. You look to the north when Venus comes into play, and you'll see a red star beside it.
Okay.
When Venus comes across as bluish green. Right? Those are signs of the alignment.
Okay.
Alignment that I didn't come up with. I must say that because these people are giving me the credit of being the person who used May 5th, 2000 as the alignment. And I didn't come up with that. Someone else was talking. There's a book out called May 5th, 2000 that I did not write. But they don't want to say a white man wrote it, because in case it don't happen, they'll say, I wrote it. But now that the alignment 4 of the planets, or 5 now, are lined up, now they're starting to put it in all the newspapers. And they don't want to say I had nothing to do with it no more. Yes.
I just have 2 questions. One, the sister down there was speaking about as far as dreams were concerned. I've never used to like remember my dreams, but I seem to be having redundant dreams of me and my son just running away like every other night, and I just want to ask that.
First of all, there's a variety of different kind of dreams that people have. Some dreams are visions, right? Some dreams are messages. There's a difference between a vision and a message, because the message is for you and the vision is of something that's going to affect more than you. Some dreams are fears. Some dreams are movies that you write and design to hide and shelter other things that you are afraid of. Reoccurring dreams, as people call it, because remember, dreams is a sister to death. There's a link between dreaming and dying. The same thing happens when you, it's strange, y'all ask me sometimes questions that I was talking about all afternoon. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a dream that was real, that felt real? If you didn't wake up, how would you know that it was a dream? And if you can't answer that, then how do you know this is not the dream? And you're waiting to wake up. Okay, by pinching yourself. You've never pinched yourself in a dream yet and got a reaction. Pinch yourself to make sure this ain't the dream. Okay? Now, what I'm reaching at is, reoccurring events are like a film that keeps, or record that keeps skipping. It's not solving itself. And that's why it's reoccurring. You've got to analyze it, find out in it the things that you added or coded in your dream so that you can dissect it and get to the root of it. And then and only then will it go away. Until you do that, it's going to keep reoccurring. It's a chipped record in your life of time. Some event has stamped itself in your mind, in your subconscious mind, and you are preventing it from dissipating. You're not trying to solve it. In other words, and it'll just keep on tumbling until you go back, analyze the dream, each incident, each person, and see which people you might be replacing. Because oftentimes in dreams, we replace people with people we want it to be, or people we don't want it to be with another person's actions. The environment I'm in, was I ever there? When was I there? What led to me being there? You follow what I'm saying? Is it a heartbreak situation? Is it a desertion thing? Was I deserted from a guy I love at that certain point, at a certain place? And I reflected, because around the corner was a store I used to go to, so now I dream around the corner, but my mind is really on this side, but I don't want to be on this side because that's where I was hurt. So I moved the dream to another place, and I replace his face with somebody I'm now with. And I do this, you know what I'm saying? That's how well the mind has been knitted to protect you against insanity. By the time a person goes insane, they're supposed to go insane. Because the brain is set up in a way that it will protect you against insanity. So you have to take that dream and write it down on paper and look at it and dissect it as the place, the people involved, then look back at yourself. How am I dressed? Why am I dressed this way? Who is in the dream with me? Why are they in the dream? Is it a kid or is it an adult? What are we doing? Walking? Are we running? Are we driving? Whose car are we in? Why that car? Are we driving too fast? Then you might remember being driving with a person in the car that was driving too fast, who had too much authority, and you didn't want to say nothing, but you felt afraid. You stored that fear in your subconscious mind, and it waited for the rest of a puzzle that can project itself. It wasn't enough to portray itself, so it stays in the subconscious mind. And then another incident happens where someone raises their hand at you, right, and almost hits you, and you duck, right? And that stores itself. Later on, you're in a vehicle, and somebody swings their hand at you in the dream. You've taken these two incidents and made them one. To rid yourself of it. All dreams is trying to do is keep you from storing waste information. So you dream it out of your existence. You follow? Because every time you dream, if you sit back and analyze it right, you'll find out it relates to things taking place in your life at the moment. Within that last 72 hours, if you really add them up right. You follow?